Hey, it's Maggie. Doing my week or module 9 reflection on classroom technology. Um, Assistive technology, simply put, is something that helps you do something that you couldn't do without it. So, the role of assistive technology is to help improve the teaching and learning process. Um, Assistive technology aids in a less stressful classroom for both the student and the teacher. It promotes independence and it improves quality of life. Um, some of the assistive technologies that we looked at this week that I found interesting. Um, well, I guess I didn't realize things like glasses or pencil grips were considered assistive technology, so I found that pretty interesting. Because it seems so simple and like part of everyday life that I just never put it together that it was assistive technology. Also, some of the things that I found applicable in the assistive technology that was shown in this module was things like different variations of different keyboards for students with physical disabilities or learning disabilities. That they're a super cool way to help the students. Some of the technology that I have past experiences with would be something like flexible or assistive technologies that I'd have past experience with would be flexible seating. This was especially helpful for a child who was very fidgety and always moving around. Flexible seating just allowed him to still do that, but in a less distracting manner. Another one would be smart boards. Seeing those, I haven't personally used any. Well, actually, yes, I did. They're interactive. They help with student involvement. You can play games on them, and students love to come up and touch their little screen, or the big screen. So they're a pretty neat way to implement technology and a good assistant for the teacher, I guess. Three applications. Out of the three applications we were supposed to do, I chose mobility, communication, and physical education. Mobility would be like walking around or moving around. Things like wheelchairs, crutches, even those little scooters, they help with mobility. We had a student last year who had an ankle injury, and it was just a short-term disability, but his teacher brought in one of those scooters that you can put the injured leg on and still move around with the other one. And I thought it was a much better option for a young active child to have than crutches, because it allowed him to keep up with his classmates even at recess time. So the second one, communication, is another application that wouldn't have been mentioned in the article, would be text to speech when the computer can read to the child. So that's helpful for just your SPED kids or slower readers when it's not necessarily a reading subject. physical education is the third one I chose, and I actually have a friend who has a pacemaker, which helps keep her heartbeat in check, but it also wouldn't allow her to overdo it with workouts or with sports. So she sometimes had to sit out of basketball games because the doctor hadn't cleared her to play or whatever. So it did help, but there's also disabilities that came with it. So the assistive technology that I chose is not, it's like a super obvious one. It would be hearing aids. It's I chose it because I've had experience with hearing aids all my life, not personally, but because my grandpa has hearing aids and has had them most of his life due to an injury as a child. And with technology progressing, his hearing aids have become better, and he has a much easier time understanding us, and we also have a much easier time understanding him because he can hear himself pronounce the words, and he pronounces them more clearly now. So that is super helpful assistive technology, and has helped in or just add a connection to that one, I guess is why I chose it. So thank you.